There is a moment in every age of discovery when the silence breaks. When something so profoundly unanticipated emerges that it shatters everything we thought we understood. Not with violence, but with clarity so deep, it feels like the universe itself inhaling. And that moment has arrived. We once believed we were prepared. That we had decoded the rules of the cosmos. We spoke in the language of equations, charted the sky with logic and light, and believed the void was finally within our grasp. We built the James Webb Space Telescope with gold mirrors and extraordinary ambition, believing we had earned the right to ask the universe its secrets. Its eyes reached deeper than any lens before it, piercing the cosmic veil, searching for galaxies long dead and stars just being born. And it delivered. Oh, it delivered beauty. Wonder, majesty. But beyond those captivating images, behind the headlines and the celebrations, something else was quietly hidden. A second current flowed beneath the surface of the data. Something wild. Untamed. Ignored. A chaotic flood of photon timestamps, temperature jitters, and gravitational whispers that most dismissed as static. Too disordered, too meaningless. Too difficult to decode. But not to everyone. Because that discarded noise, that seemingly random stream of deep space entropy, was handed over to a different kind of mind. Not a human one. It was given to the quantum AI division at Google. To the same minds who once reshaped how machines think, who redefined optimization, and bent probability to the will of silicon and superconductors. And when they fed that raw stream of cosmic chaos into their newest quantum neural architecture, something stirred. Something old. Something unexpected. Something not from here. Because the AI didn't just crunch the numbers. It didn't just analyze patterns or clean up noise. It understood them. It saw what no human ever could. Patterns in disorder, symmetry in turbulence, meaning buried in what we thought was meaningless. And what it found was not a glitch. Not a bug. Not a cosmic accident. It found something that should not exist. An echo. A structure. A whisper from behind the walls of reality. A mirror, not made of glass or matter, but of information itself. A reflection that didn't just bend our expectations, it shattered them. So now, the question has changed. We no longer ask, what's out there? We ask, who, or what, is looking back? The James Webb Space Telescope sends back nearly 60 gigabytes of data every single day. Most of the world only sees the polished slices, the breathtaking images of star nurseries, nebulae blooming like celestial gardens, and galaxies spiraling in frozen elegance. But beneath those visuals, beneath the beauty that captures headlines, there's a deeper layer. A darker one. Denser. Uglier. More honest. It's the telemetry. The photon-level timestamps. The subtle fluctuations in quantum background noise. The raw heartbeat of the universe, stripped of aesthetics, untouched by human interpretation. No telescope before Webb was ever sensitive enough to see this deep. No instrument could resolve this kind of substructure in cosmic radiation. And for the longest time, no one really knew what to do with it. It sat in databases like static, discarded, unexamined, forgotten. Until something changed. Google's quantum AI division proposed a radical idea. What if this noise wasn't meaningless at all? What if buried within that chaos was intention? So they tried something bold. They didn't run the data through a classical algorithm. They didn't feed it into equations or models trained on logic. A quantum neural network, built not to solve problems, but to recognize the architecture of uncertainty itself. This wasn't about solving. It was about listening. So they connected the unfiltered chaos directly into their newest quantum processing system, a machine called Sycamore Q, and when they did, something lit up. Not metaphorically. Literally. Anomalies began firing across the matrix like cosmic fireworks. Photons started arriving out of expected order, as if time itself was stuttering. Spectral harmonics echoed across unrelated quadrants of space, like music written in a language no one had heard before. And most disturbing of all, the gravitational lensing data began to fold in strange ways. The AI found distortions, but they weren't just gravitational curves. They were mirrored reflections. As if some part of the universe wasn't just bending light, but bouncing it back. A fold. A seam. A reflection. And yet, it wasn't random. It wasn't a glitch. Because the AI kept pointing to the same location, again and again, with impossible precision. A region Webb had already scanned. A place no scientist had noticed. A cold, unremarkable void. Until now. The coordinates were deep within a dark region between galaxies, a place where nothing should be. No stars. No dust. No X-ray flare. Just emptiness. But when the data was isolated and magnified, when the AI reconstructed the interference pattern, something began to form. Not an object. Not a planet. Not a structure of stone or metal. But a geometry. A recursive shape. Endlessly folding into itself. It was made of nothing, and yet it had form. A ripple in space-time that seemed to reference itself, as though the universe was looking into a mirror and whispering back its own name. Mathematicians were brought in. Topologists. Quantum field theorists. Even cryptographers. No one could explain it. It didn't fit into any known model, not string theory, not loop quantum gravity, not even the probabilistic fog of the multiverse. And yet it was there. Not once. But again and again. The deeper the AI searched, the more the pattern repeated. But it wasn't copying itself. It was responding. Each time the Webb telescope moved, each time a new scan was made, the pattern adjusted. Not in randomness. But with meaning. Almost as if it were aware that it was being watched. The lead scientist on the project, Drive, Alara Voss, called it the Omega pattern. A structure so deeply embedded in quantum data that it defied randomness. It was not a message in the traditional sense. No words. No code. No alien signal. It was something older. Something more primal. It was awareness, expressed in form. Like the ghost of logic etched into the grain of reality itself. But then, came the response. Because when the AI began to model predictions based on the Omega pattern, the output changed. The simulations didn't just echo the past. They started anticipating the future. Positions of stars not yet observed. Fluctuations in the vacuum field. Even corrections to known physical constants. And every single one was right. Somehow, this recursive anomaly wasn't just describing the cosmos. It was guiding it. As though the pattern wasn't a result of the universe, but the cause. A hidden code, not written by hand, but woven into the bones of existence. And the deeper they looked,